thoughts as you look ahead to the upcoming race season?
I'm pretty excited. I think Dad and I have been bouncing off on who's most excited. We got my old super stock back, the one won the 2018 track championship with. And like last year, I got the opportunity to race for Jeff Drimmey full time in his own race car, and my dad and I every week just worked on it to make it faster and faster, and we did a very good job, and it was a lot of fun last year. I think last year was probably the best year that our relationship wise has been. It was really cool to be able to, just work with my dad, and we didn't have any of those normal arguments we used to have back a few years ago, and it's just it was a really, really cool opportunity last year. And over the off season, I said to my dad, I'm like, I want to get my old car back, and Jeremy Dobb had it for sale privately through is just realistically for me, but we ended up getting it back, and honestly, I'm so excited and enthused to get this year going.
I was gonna say, what are the goals in that now that you got the favorite toy back that led to the success before?
Honestly, it's the same goal as we had every year, kind of, that we raced. We want to be competitive. I know, like last year we only had 8 or 9 cars at Sunset full time, but I mean the caliber of drivers in the competition was second to none. And I mean, out of all those guys, I think there was 8 guys on a regular basis that could win a race, and it made it very competitive, and you had to be on your A game 24/7. So I just want to be coming out of the box, and I just want to be fast. I want to be competitive and consistent to win the championship again. It'd be really cool to bring another championship back to Everingham Racing.
I was gonna say, along those lines, like you were saying, it just seemed like every night, no matter whether we had 8 cars, 12 cars, it was always a close battle, like right down to the end. And that, because like you say, we have the caliber of talent in that. And then now you're adding guys in like Roy Wilkie, who has stated he's now committing to Sunset full time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that guys like Cole Burrows, and last year was a standout year for him. He took a little bit to get onto it, but I mean, he come from racing mini stocks and junior late models, and I remember racing with him, and I just like, holy crap, like this kid's gonna be good. Connor Maltese as well. Like they started figuring out their program towards the end of the year, and it really showed well on the racetrack and on their finishes and stuff. And I'm really excited to see them come out this year, and hopefully we're all battling for wins, and hopefully that I'm on top of it. But I'm super excited to race with all of them again, and like Matt McGrath as well. Like he worked on my car since 2014 up until I think 2020, and then it's something that I've never ever thought was going to be possible, of us racing against each other, and I never ever imagined it would ever happen. And it's probably one of the coolest things in the world. I'm really excited to see all the success from them guys, and the whole field. I mean, like I said, last year there wasn't really one guy that was walking away from the feature every race, or even heat wins and stuff. And I'm so excited to get back rolling in 2024 and seeing how we can do.
I'm gonna ask you that you are wearing the Whole Way Motorsports shirt, so I'm gonna put this to you. You've been helping out with their program and that, working behind the scenes with Taylor and that. How much is that a benefit back to your program and stuff that you're learning to be able to take back to your deal?
Oh, it's been absolutely huge. All summer I was employed in the race shop. I worked Monday to Friday, sometimes Sunday as well, on Corey Luciano's car, and when Trayton drove for Taylor as well, I worked on doing all that stuff, because Taylor recently had a kid, so he had to step up and be a dad now, and he's really enjoying watching his little girl grow up, which is really cool to see. But it's definitely helped me out a ton. Like I ventured a little bit in the pro late models. I ran a season and about a half. The first season was just a learning curve. We knew it was going to be a learning curve. And the second season, we were ready to get rolling. And we just had some really bad luck right off the hop of blowing up our motor that was brand new, and just it was tough, you know.
Yeah.
And I said to my dad, I said, like, you know, it's hard to be the car owner, the crew chief, the crew member, and the driver all in the same time, because you're constantly thinking about, you know, do I really need this position to look good on paper, or do I want to push this, you know, push it even more and potentially have to work on the car all week and pass templates and all the stuff with APC and you know, like when we stepped away from the Prolate program there, and I really started like diving deep with Taylor and, you know, doing everything. Like I didn't, honestly, I didn't know how to read a tape measure, because it's just something that we never learned in school up until last year. And he just taught me. He was like a big brother figure, and it was really cool, you know, learning all this stuff. And I've learned so much, and it makes me so fortunate and so thankful for everything that he's taught me. Like he could just tell me, hey, we need to have the car set up for Sunset Speedway or Flamborough or Sable. Have fun. And it's you know, I've become his right hand man with that stuff, because like I said, his young kid there growing up, and he doesn't want to miss any opportunities with her. So it's made me a lot more confident, because I know when, like, a lot of the times when the cars unload out of the trailer, they're very close, and it's definitely helped being able to make changes and do things. Oh, things.
It's like, sorry, it's like that's the pizza. You'll get it out, Faith?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, she says she's got it, so I trust her.
All right. So yeah, no, I definitely think that I know that it's definitely helped me with, you know, taking more craftsmanship in my work as well, because Taylor is so anal on everything that comes out of his shop, and it's got to look good from afar, and it's got to look even better up close. And it's made me take a lot more pride in all my stuff, and just like setup wise, and knowing what to do with the car and what it's going to do. And like I said, it's been so beneficial, and I never ever thought that it was ever going to get this way, but I'm really happy for what I've learned, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with it this year.
We obviously, you getting behind the wheel, it's not a surprise to anybody. I mean, your family grew up around the track, and that we watched your dad race, your grandfather race. But what is it about racing that keeps you wanting to come back every year and be involved?
Honestly, I think the biggest reason is, like, I've been around it my whole life. You know, it was really cool going on the racetrack and, you know, helping my dad out on his race cars, and I wasn't old enough when my grandfather and my grandpa Bud raced as well, and so, like, as I got older and I was able to start working on cars and understanding and being able to do things, and it was just really cool. And then I never, you know, my dad always, like, we joke around, and I was supposed to race the year before I started racing, and it's just been like a him and I thing, you know. Like, my dad and I don't always see eye to eye, but I know that if I need to thrash in the car till 3 o'clock in the morning and get it ready for Saturday night, he's gonna thrash with me till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It doesn't matter if he's got to work at 5:30 in the morning. He's there, and it's definitely more so for me now as I'm getting older, is like just keep that relationship really close with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a big family run team. My mom's there to support me 24/7. The car's, you know, at my house here with my mom, and it's just the biggest thing for me is the family aspect of it. You know, like I feel like, especially last year, that my dad and I got a lot closer than we've been in previous years, and you know, they're not getting any younger, so it's definitely been really, really cool to be able to work alongside with him and just get good at this stuff.
So what's been the most memorable moment that you've had in your career to date?
That's tough. You know, definitely there's a few of them for sure. You know, like when we come out in 2017 with the new Streamline car and winning the first feature, that was like something that I'll never ever forget. And then obviously winning the championship with, you know, with my crew guys. You know, I dedicated it right from the hop. You know, whatever happened in 2018 was all to do with my crew guys. the good of like the good things and the bad things. And when we finally were able to clinch a championship, like it was 100% my crew. Like, yeah, I'm just sitting there holding the steering wheel. I work on the car as well, but them guys and the girlfriends at the time and stuff dedicated so much time to my race program, and it's just been, you know, I don't pay any of my guys. I'm very fortunate that a lot of the guys that come and help me do it out of their own pocket, and don't mind it. Like we feed them, we give them drinks and stuff. They come over, we have cold beer or whatever kind of alcohol beverage they like drinking. But so that was definitely the second one, and the third one was probably my first heat win last year with the car that I drove for Jeff, because like my dad and I put so much time and so much effort into that car, and just like we picked it up the Friday of opening night at 7:30 at night, worked on it till 4 o'clock in the morning, went to the racetrack at 10 o'clock, worked from 10 till 5 o'clock on it, missed all the practices, and just to get it, like it wasn't even running when we left the shop. Like we had so much work to do, but if we wanted to run well, we had to be there opening night. And
Yeah.
I won on my birthday, which was really cool that last year. And it was just my dad and I, like I've had some help from Sean McWhorter for like setup advice, and we bounce ideas off, and with Taylor as well. I use his shop all the time for setting up the car and using scales, because my shop floods every time. And but like, yeah, that's probably right up there against with the championship. Was definitely winning that heat race. I know it's just a heat race, but from what we turned that car from the start of the year till the end of the year was just amazing success.
You've gotten to drive a modified mini stock, super stock, and that late model even. Is there anything else out there that you'd like to try?
Honestly, like I wouldn't mind trying a Thunderstock, on dirt.
Right.
I drove a mini stock for Wade Thorne at Humberstone. I never even seen the dirt track nor raced on dirt in my life, and I finished second. So it kind of gave me a really cool confidence boost. Between that and maybe it'd be cool to try an Outlaw Super Late model. But I've super stocks just got like it just keeps drawing me back. It's such a competitive and hard knit grit racing, and I find that honestly, I find the super stock probably the hardest thing I've ever driven, and I've driven a lot of stuff over my racing career, and but honestly, like if I could do one thing, it'd probably be the super late model. I think that would be pretty wild.
With everything that you've done, what's a piece of advice that you'd give to somebody getting started?
Number one is safety. I've put I've shoehorned my body into some places that I probably shouldn't be. I've seen some. I drove a car for a guy in a bone stock, and you get out and you look at the car afterwards, and you look at the cage, or like for this instance, there was no seat bracket, like upper seat bracket, so the seat was flopping around, and that the biggest thing honestly is just make sure that whatever you're doing is safe. Like I'm the first person to say I hate wearing gloves. I hate wearing the neck brace, but I mean, I do it just because we have to.
Yeah.
But at least if you're strapped into something that's safe, it's a lot better than strapping into something that's cobbled together. That's definitely one of the biggest things. But the second thing is just have fun at what you're doing. Don't let there's people that are going to talk crap whether you're racing a bone stock or a super late model, because if you're racing a bone stock, it's just a beginner's class, which it's definitely not. I love racing bone stocks, but or if you're racing a super late model or a pro late model, if you're not doing up to their standards, then they're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna knock your driving capabilities and stuff. But I honestly I think that safety and just go out there and have fun, go do your thing. A lot of people are sitting in the grandstands or wishing that they could do what you're doing.
Yep.
So,
And ignore the critics, because there's critics at every turn.
oh yeah, grandstand drivers, love them. So.
Alrighty. That's